Downstairs in the basement of this building in Sydney is one of Australia's most exciting restaurants, Nell, owned by Nelly Robinson. Nelly is one of Australia's most innovative chefs. Having left school early and started in hospitality at the age of 14, he's worked in some of the world's finest restaurants and has honed his skills in very creative cuisine. He opened Nell here in Sydney in 2015.
Yeah.
And has now got a wide range of guests, both international and local, who just love what you do.
Thank you.
Welcome to G&M, Nell.
Thank you.
Nelly, sorry. You came from humble beginnings in the UK. How hard was it to break into the Sydney scene?
The Sydney scene was very difficult, to be honest with you, because coming from where I come from in the UK, and I wasn't known in the city. I wasn't known in Australia. I was a young boy coming over as a traveller, and I came for 4 months and ended up still here after 9 years. So, to break through was quite difficult. But I think it was nice because we were under the radar and people didn't expect too much at the start. So that's, I think, why we're still here after 5 years. So now it's very good.
You're well known for creating some exciting, innovative dishes. Where do you get your inspirations?
Inspirations come from every walk of life, really. I think you walk down the street and you see something on the floor, or you see something in the air, or you go on holiday and you eat stuff. Memories of food are quite important, and I think a lot of people touch on that. Is that too loud?
No, that's okay.
I think people touch on that because memory is everything. I think in life, I think growing up you use memories more as you're getting older, and with food I do that. So growing up, if it was a 7-year-old on a beach in Cornwall having an ice cream, I brought that into a dish here where we've brought ice cream stands to the table and you pick your own ice cream and your own cone. So I think the memories of that, and then maybe walking through a field and seeing long grass and picking Easter eggs out of there with your parents, and so we've done that in the restaurant, and seeing a fire burn in New Zealand and little charcoal bits that we've managed to find, or baking potatoes in the middle of a fire pit. We think of anything that really resembles memory, really. But I think the main thing is to make your customer happy with not being able to do what we do at home. So I want them to walk up the stairs and think to themselves, oh, I can't do that at home, because that's what keeps bringing back the customer. So, and I think with the theme menus that we do as well is quite important, because it gives everybody a bit of excitement when what's the next theme, or what's he doing this time. So we're going to be doing Land and Sea and Celebrate New South Wales in the next menu, so everything will be from New South Wales in this region, which I don't think many people do, so we're excited to bring that one.
You like to make fine dining a fun experience, and some of your dishes are really quite innovative and fun. How do you blend fun with fine dining?
With uniqueness, I think. I think we love to bring fine dining and fun together in a space that's not got the white tablecloths, and you are quite close together in here, and it's quite clumped together. But we do that with making sure that people have an experience in here. And look, when you came into the Sydney dining scene in 2015, you had to have a different restaurant, or else you wouldn't be able to compete with what was around at that time. You had your Marks, you had your Sepias, you had your Keys and Sixpennies that had just started out, and then we've come on board that we want to get into that uniqueness a little bit, and we're still here with that, with putting smiles on people's faces. But you've got to stamp your own personality on your own menus. I am a fun-loving guy. I love life and love having fun, and I think that reflects in our food, and to give people a bit of fun and smile is the best thing in this industry, is to see people smiling, and I'll never stop doing that.
That's certainly something you do well, and
Thank you.
you're obviously taking it other places as well. You spend some of your time demonstrating your talents overseas as well, places such as Vinyam in the Maldives, and your upcoming stint at Datai in Malaysia.
Yeah.
How do you tailor the menus for those markets as well, or are you taking your Australian style to them?
No, we don't change anything. When we're doing these pop-ups, the Maldives was such an amazing experience. You're cooking. There's always challenges, you can't get the same produce sometimes, so you have to, reflect on menus a little bit and change them a bit. But we take Nell to them places, so we work with the staff a couple of days before we do the pop-ups. We train them the same as our staff, and we work with them to make sure that they're on par with what we're doing. But again, we have fun with them, and we're teaching these different restaurants around the world how we want to do it. But the Maldives, Malaysia coming up, hopefully the US next year. So these pop-ups are getting quite popular around the world, and it gives me the opportunity to also grow the brand but also I love teaching people, and I love working with different chefs as well, and it's giving the people an opportunity to work with us around the world, so we love it.
Do you have to take the props and things with you? I remember years ago, well, not years ago, but some time ago, having a dessert here which was in a book.
Yeah.
Now obviously you can't find that everywhere.
No, we fly, and we always had extra baggage on, and we take a suitcase full of props. So Malaysia, there's going to be all the Disney stuff come with us because they want to bring the Disney menu over. So we're bringing a suitcase full of all the props. Sometimes we work with what they've got depending on the menu, but yeah, 99% of the time I take stuff with me. Yeah.
What are some of the learnings and challenges and triumphs from running an independent restaurant that has turned out to be very challenging for you?
First and foremost, I think running my own independent restaurant has been amazing and the best experience of my life. You know, you have your ups, you have your downs, like anything in life. But to be able to say that you own a restaurant 100% in Sydney and it's still successful, it brings a tear to my eye. I don't think there's many other people that have that. You know, I read the other day that Gagan himself only has 25% of Gagan. You know, but look how successful he is. But to not have the majority view on everything, it's quite disturbing, that to me. I have the last say here, and I speak to my staff. I employ people around me that I trust, and they get a say as well into it. But there's none of that. We'll just ask him, we'll ask him, we'll ask him. It's, Nelly, can we have this? Yes, no, and that's the way it is. To keep the customers coming back, that's just from the brain of bringing different menus and changing it so often. And I don't think a lot of people understand how often we actually change it. We change it after every 8 to 10 weeks, depending on seasons. It's a lot of work, but we love doing that, and we love bringing. You know, we've had a customer here that's come to every, I think, well, the 46th menu or something, and he's been to every menu. Right. You know, but he turns up and he's so excited because he's getting a different dish every time he comes to a menu. So eventually, when we bring the book out, we've already got 46 menus worth of dishes to put into a book. So, you know, we're ready to look at maybe doing that in the next few years as well.
Right, you're expecting people at home to be able to make tallow candles and...
No, I think it'll be more of a coffee table book, I think, but there'll be little bits of it, I think, where we can take maybe an element of that dish that we can do at home, and I think that'll be the change of that. So yeah, we're looking at doing that.
You're coming up to your 5th birthday, which is sort of a milestone for any yes, any restaurant in Australia, I think. Do you think the current market in Australia is a bit saturated at the moment?
I'm positive about the current market. I think at the end of the day, I think there's a world. I heard in the US the other day there's a recession coming. There's a recession coming here, and people still need to dine out. And still, people need to eat. There's still corporates that take clients out. There's still, you know, girlfriends and boyfriends that have got and husbands and wives that have got birthdays and celebrations, and you've got to tap into that market. But you've also got to reinvent yourself as a restaurant as well. You know, I think there's too many restaurants that stick to the laurels of 6 to 7 years ago, and that's why they kaput. I think you've got to see the times and the change, and you've got to cook for your customer. I think that's the day and age of cooking for, you know, inspectors and everything, and making sure that Michelin and Gourmet and people are there. You've got to, at the end of the day, people that are coming into your restaurant are customers, and you've got to cook for your customers. The rest will come and follow with that, you know, and I love my customers to bits. The current market in Sydney at the minute, there's a lot of successful restaurants. I think we've all got to pull together a little bit more. I think there's a bit too much isolation of restaurants, and I think if the top restaurants can come together and really, you know, pull together, then we'll see more of a vibrant city. But we've got to start supporting the young ones a little bit more. You know, you've got St. Peter and myself that are doing amazing things, independent restaurants, and I feel that, you know, with travellers and people coming into Sydney, we've got to support them. And then you've got, you know, Peter and Key and you know, the Sixpenny guys that are still going, and Lumi, and these restaurants are amazing. But then you've got an unbelievable middle ground restaurant that is casual in this city. But then we've also got a lot of rubbish, and we've got to unfortunately fault them out to get the others to grow a bit more. But we're getting there. I believe there's no negativity. I think there's a lot of positivity in what we're doing at the minute. Restaurants closing isn't necessarily a bad thing, you know, and that sounds horrible, but one day it'll be us, one day it'll be somebody else. We've just got to grow and enjoy your time. You know?
There's always a bit of turnover, right?
There's always a turnover in restaurants. It's the same all over the world wherever I've worked.
But as you say, you keep reinventing yourself. What new exciting things can we see on your menu?
Well, we've got the New South Wales one menu in Land and Sea coming on in October, and then obviously Christmas time we like to do a story of Christmas. So we've we've reinvented a few dishes of memories at Christmas which are going to be quite remarkable, and that's going to run for 5 weeks. So that's really exciting. And then next year we've got a couple of big ones. We're going to reinvent the Once Upon a Time menu again.
Okay.
I think we're chucking a bit of Pixar in there as well. We've been approached to do that. But next year we've got quite a bit happening. We've got hopefully a festival happening, and there's some big things going to be coming out probably early next year that people can get really excited about.
Really exciting.
It's very exciting times next year.
With all this really creative, innovative food, what does Nelly like to eat when he goes home?
Oh, when I go home, I love a curry. I do, and you can tell by the accent, I'm not a posh boy, so I'm very happy with a curry poppadom and rice, or a chicken sandwich, or just something quite relaxed.
Tikka masala.
Good old tikka masala, or a butter chicken, or just something. But I like Northern English. I'll never take the potato out of my dishes, and I'll never ever take a pie out of my life. And it's just the way I am, and I'll never change. But at work, I get told off the missus all the time. It's funny that you're disruptive in everything else, but you create this amazing, delicate food. How do you do it? And I just like whatever. So it's I love being home, and I'm a very home boy, which people can see on the socials as well. I love my family to bits, and on my days off, it's always about my family and getting back in here on a Tuesday and reinventing again. So I love home life.
Well, that's really good. Thank you, Nelly. We really look forward to your next menu.
We look forward to seeing you. Thank you, my friend, as always.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.